Sarcasm Speaks, Jared and Bob, coming at you. This episode will be out on day one of the Masters. So
happy Masters Week, everyone.
Happy Masters Week. This is our second episode where we've opened up with the Masters. Not really going to talk too much about it. I just wanted to say happy Masters tee off day. So there was something else that I had really quick on that I thought about, like when you're talking and you have thoughts while you're talking.
I try not to have thoughts when I'm talking. It's too confusing. I don't want to hurt myself.
Yeah, I had a thought while I was just saying that about the Masters, and then I had something else to say about it, but it's gone. So, oh well. So in I don't know, I guess back to regular people news.
I hate regular people.
Yeah, I know. And I hate news too. So
so bad. Like it came on the other day after the golf, and I'm just like, this is so fucking infuriating. And it's just the local news. Like it's not even bad. Like, yeah, they have biases, but like not nearly as bad as national shit.
Right. I was gonna say, out of all of them, local news is probably
like local, because
the most generally legit. Still not great, but the more legit.
Generally, they're not going to take like a hard political side.
Yeah,
but like, I'm just like, this doesn't fucking matter. None of this matters.
The good thing about local news is like they spend most of their time talking about like, oh, there was a 6-car pileup on 95 today, and like actually shit that's like relevant. Like the mayor of Boston did a dick move and locked out all the people from the North End, the restaurant owner, like shit like that. They do talk about some national stuff, but like it's relatively quick. So like I said, I don't like news, but at least local news is, I don't even want to call it palatable.
The lesser of two evils.
Yeah,
because it's lesser of two evils.
It's still not palatable. That's being way too nice.
No, it's really irritating.
But it is the lesser of two evils. Yes, I will go on with that. And I remembered my thought that I forgot mid-sentence. I actually get to watch the Masters this week because I am working from home for the rest of the week. So I was on site today. I was actually up by you. I was at the Citizens Bank. Whoops. I don't know if I was supposed to say that. I don't have an NDA with Citizens, so I have an NDA with the other company.
You're a customer of Citizens.
Yeah, I am actually a customer.
You could have been depositing money or withdrawing money.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I have 2 accounts with Citizens actually. So I was at the Citizens up by the Wegmans.
You don't have to tell me where.
Well, no, because the main point of the story,
the corporate office,
is the Wegmans.
Don't worry, I wasn't there.
And
up by me, dude, I only live here. Like, I'm never here.
Yeah,
it's the crazy people like, oh, how's Milton? I go, wouldn't even know.
I don't know.
I literally would not know how Milton is.
Spend 90% of my time in Easton.
Yeah, I mean, if like okay, so sleeping aside.
Yeah, if you did an hour by hour audit on where you spend your time, I would have to say close to 90%. If you take out sleep, if you remove the sleep time, so of an audit on your waking hours, I would say 90% is Easton.
So I wake up at 5:20 and I'm out of the house at 5:40. So that's 20 minutes. I'm home.
Yep.
So then I drive. So that's 5:40. And I'm generally not home until 6:40. So that's 13 hours later. Okay.
Yep.
One night I'm home closer to 6:15. And one night I'm home closer to 9. So Monday through Thursday, I'm in Milton. 4 hours on Monday, 4 hours on Tuesday, an hour and a half on Wednesday, 9.5. Again, another 4 on Thursday. That's 13. And then weekends get a little weird, but yeah. So Monday through Thursday, I'm in Milton and awake for 13 hours.
you work in Easton 13 hours on one day.
I'm generally at the gym for 12 to 14 hours.
Yeah.
Or at least
dude. How's Milton?
Yeah, how's Milton? And then when we like go to do our thing, the Target, the PetSmart, we don't go to Wegmans much anymore. That's all in Westwood. We like Dedham Center. There's a lot going on in Dedham that we like.
Yep.
Dude, like I don't go to any destinations in Milton, like for anything. I cut through it to go to 93 North when I go that way. Or if we're headed towards like Weymouth or Hingham, we drive through Milton to 3A or roundabout 3A, whatever.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you
don't do anything in North Attleboro, do you?
No, I do. I do.
Oh, okay.
Well, not a ton, but there is a little bit. Like, there's like a couple restaurants that I like. There's obviously the butcher shop downtown that I go there, but I don't know. You can't call that like going out, but whatever. What I was gonna say is, now that I think about it, Milton, I think it's a useless town. There's nothing actually in Milton.
So right? You could say,
what are the redeeming qualities outside of Milton Hospital? Because it's definitely not
is that a redeeming quality?
No, or I mean, yeah, maybe like a useful thing, right?
So there is a hockey rink, right?
Okay.
Now I'm not going to a hockey rink, but there is a hockey rink,
right?
Steel and Rye is in Milton, so that like I don't know what's in that like Milton Village area, but Steel and Rye is a place that people like.
East Milton Square, I think, has maybe some
East Milton
things.
Square has some stuff. Abbey Park.
Yeah.
Is it Abbey Park? Stella's? I don't know. People seem to like East Milton Square as well.
Yeah.
I could be confusing the two, or people could be confusing the two when they speak to me, because I've heard of Steel and Rye being in East Milton Square, and I don't think it is. I think it's in Milton Village.
Okay. Yeah.
East Milton Square, you're going to cross the highway to get to.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, dude, it's just a fucking, I assume it's a city. Maybe it's a town. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no nightlife because it's not like the fucking city.
No. And then the other thing I was going to say is that once they close Bent's Cookie Factory, like, what the fuck's the point? Which
I don't even know what that is.
It's not. It sounds obviously like the cookie place. It's not. It was called Bent's Cookie Factory, but maybe once upon a time, maybe they actually did make cookies still there. But the only reason I used to go there is for the sandwiches. Like, everything was like made to order, like great fucking sandwiches. And they closed. And now it's like some other like sub shop, I think, or something like that. But I used to go over there when I worked at Milton Academy. That's what I mean. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, because Milton's a pretty big place, but like, if you want something like you want to go shopping, right? You go to Legacy Place in Dedham. Yeah. If you want like a good liquor store, you either have to go to Hyde Park or Quincy, right? Because Cappy's or Atlas is in Quincy, one of them. There's a Cappy's and an Atlas over there somewhere too.
Yeah, I mean, Luke's in Canton isn't far.
Luke's in Canton. Yeah, that's like, so I'm trying to think of like the normal draws to like a place. Like, there's no shopping area. There's no liquor store. Like, there's no.
Well, so let me do this.
Like, great dining spot outside of like Steel and Rye.
Let me do this, because so obviously I live here. So living in Milton has an appeal because of proximity to all of these things.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. But I'm saying like inside
traveling to Milton is less appealing than living in Milton.
Right.
Because I have close proximity to Dedham, Hyde Park, any of the boroughs of Boston.
Braintree, Quincy,
Canton, Westwood. Like, I can get anywhere.
Because even like, I'm thinking too, like golf, like Brook Meadows in Canton, Granite Links is in Quincy.
Yep. Presidents is in Quincy.
Right.
I mean, Wollaston, if you can get on it. Blue Hills, if you can get on it. Milton Hoosick, if you can get on it.
Right.
Ponky is a shithole, but it's there.
Yeah. That's, you know what I mean? Like
Norfolk isn't too far away.
And then so it's like, obviously like George Wright and the other one. William
George Wright,
Devine.
and then Franklin Park.
Yeah.
But dude, even for me to get to, I played golf at Nishotic, which is on the Concord. It's in Concord on the Salisbury line. Nope, not Salisbury. Sudbury. It took 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it takes me no time to get anywhere.
Well, yeah. So it's a great commuter city. But what I guess what I should have said is it's not a destination.
Before we speak out of turn, now I did Google restaurant Milton, Mass. And according to Google, Novara is an Italian restaurant, 4.5 stars, 755 reviews. I'm sure that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Steel and Rye, 4.4, 700 reviews. Abbey Park, 4.5, 505 reviews. Ichiro Sushi, 4.5, 105 reviews. Mr. Chan's, I like their Chinese food. Peel Pizza, this doesn't have great reviews, but the one in Hingham's pretty good. I think Hingham.
Yeah.
Newcomb Farms can attest that place is actually good. If you like bowls, they have bowls.
Like Tibetan bowls?
Like playa, no, like fucking acai bowls and shit.
Yeah.
Acai bowls.
Yeah.
There's some oyster place. I don't know where the fuck that is. I also feel like Wharf Street isn't in Milton. I feel like that's probably Quincy.
Yeah.
So Stella's 4.3, 127 reviews. Lower Mills Tavern. Lower Mills isn't it? Oh wait, no. Lower
That's
Mills is Dorchester, right?
Yeah. It's on the line.
Okay, yeah, that actually says
Dorchester.
Boston. Yeah, that actually says Boston. So I mean, like, there are restaurants, but like, are you gonna I don't know. It's like, can you not find an Italian place somewhere else?
Right.
Like, that's what I mean. So I don't know. I mean, if you're in the area, then yeah, you got some options, but you're not going to drive from North Attleboro to go to Steel and Rye unless I invite you. I haven't even been there though. So
right. Yeah, like I would drive to, I don't know, to Westwood to like go to some restaurant, you know what I mean? Like, cause they have a bunch, or Dedham. Like Dedham has a million fucking restaurants.
Yeah. And I'm sure Steel and Rye is pretty good. It's just a little far for you to fucking go.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like honestly, like if I'm going to do anything, I'm probably just going to go to fucking Foxborough or Rentham.
Yeah.
Cause there's also a million great restaurants in Foxborough or in Rentham. And then also I can just pop over to Rhode Island and go to like
deal with
Johnston or Cumberland.
Yeah. And if you're going to deal with the headache of finding a place to park, having the fucking like navigate through like kind of the city, not really, wouldn't you just go into the city?
Right. Yeah, that's true too. Like if I'm going to drive if I'm not all the way, but if I'm going to drive all the way to Milton, why not go an extra 25 minutes and go into the city? Yeah. You
know. So I don't know. How's Milton? I don't know. You have to ask somebody else.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
Dedham seems to be pretty good though.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So how's Milton? You've lived there for a while now, right? Yeah.
I'd have no clue.
Yeah. I mean, I sleep there.
I do sleep there.
I don't know. Bed's pretty comfortable. You should say that. People are like, "Oh, dude, how's Milton?" I don't know. The bed's pretty comfortable.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm supposed to answer that. Like, whatever.
Yeah, because now, actually, now that I do think about it, we don't venture out too much in North Attleboro. Like, I go food shopping in South Attleboro or Attleboro, whatever the fuck it's called. Apparently, there is a place called South Attleboro, but it's like 350 square inches.
Is that like Northeast and Southeastern?
Yeah, no, it's like an actual town. Like, I think it's an incorporated town in Massachusetts, but I think it's literally about as big as a postage stamp. Like, it exists, but like it's barely exists.
So is a north a regular and a south?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a
no, it's a neighborhood of Attleboro.
Oh, all right. Whatever.
According to Wikipedia, it's a neighborhood of Attleboro.
Oh, because they have
it is perhaps known for the South Attleboro station on the Attleboro-Stoughton line on MBTA commuter rail, Route 1, Route 1A.
Yeah, because there's a sign there's a sign, like one of those white signs that says entering, like, and it says entering like SO Attleboro, South Attleboro. But that's what I mean. Like, I think it's literally like just like the fucking train station and
Well,
like
I guess that
the market
so I guess
basket.
that depends. If you consider Hyde Park its own city, then
I
you
would,
can
yeah.
then South Park. I'm sorry, South Park. If
South
Hyde
Park.
Park and Rossi and Dorchester are their own cities,
Yeah.
then South Attleboro can be its own town or city.
Yeah, sure.
But if it's not, then it's not.
I think it has to have a post office.
That's
I think
no, that sucks because Easton has 3.
Yeah,
Easton,
but if a
Easton
town
has 3 fucking post offices.
But you need at least one, because if you have a town that doesn't have at least one post office, it's not a real town, in my opinion.
They have 3 fucking zip codes in one town.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't care
bullshit.
about that. But what I'm saying,
that's manure.
Yeah, no, it is. It's malarkey.
Like,
but what I'm saying
accounts,
is, if South Attleboro,
erroneous.
if like the town of South Attleboro doesn't have a post office, then it's not a real city, in my opinion. But if it does, it's a city. So that's how I judge
define this. I think Easton has poisoned me. I think what I would no, because West Medford has its own zip code and its own post office.
Its own post office. Yeah.
That doesn't make it a different city.
Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask,
I don't think I've heard anybody say West Medford is its own city.
Well, you just don't cross the train tracks.
Careful.
Dickheads.
Careful. Yeah.
I never really used to understand that until I got older. Because like you would just hear people like talk about it and I'd be like, I don't understand. And then I'm like, oh, okay. You guys are fucking dickheads.
Yeah, we'll just leave that.
Yeah.
Just leave that there.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think I'm sticking by my post office thing because I think it's the absence of a post office, right? So if it has a post office, it doesn't necessarily mean it is, but like if it doesn't have a post office, then it's definitely not.
See, I think we're dealing with like a couple like logical fallacies here. So it's like I think I know what you're saying. Where if somewhere wants to be its own thing, but they don't have their own post office in accompanying zip code,
correct,
then it's not
right.
But just because there's a different zip code and post office, I am saying that doesn't make it different. Right? So it's like you're almost arguing one point, and I'm arguing a separate point.
That sounds about right. Welcome to the show.
So I'm right.
Yeah, as am I.
So we all agree I nailed it.
So I forget what I was saying though. What was that? Oh, about how I don't really do anything in North Attleboro, which is true. There's like there is actually plenty here, but I don't really do it.
Listen,
the Lowe's. I do go to the Lowe's a lot.
I'm sure Milton's nice.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the planes fly too low because apparently that's a fucking epidemic around here.
Oh, really? People complaining about the planes?
Yep.
Well, it's only certain times of the year because they change because of old men that yell at clouds and planes. They change the track of the planes like every couple months.
Well, that's probably why there's a higher concentration of bitching at certain times.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like that's a real thing because I'm assuming because fucking old people, all they do is bitch and complain about stupid shit. They change the flight track of planes to not always fly over the same neighborhoods. Obviously, the closer you get to Boston and East Boston, there's nothing you can fucking do. Like if you live in Winthrop, like
imagine living
fucked.
I don't even know how many miles it is to the fucking airport, but like imagine living 15 miles from the airport and then like bitching that planes fly over your house.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe these goddamn planes, dude. You live in Winthrop.
10 miles.
Yeah.
Where the fuck do you think they're gonna go?
Or God forbid you actually live in East Boston. Like imagine like living in East Boston being like, oh, it's goddamn planes.
I actually genuinely can't.
Yeah, no, I would no. You couldn't pay me enough money to live in East Boston.
Is the hockey rink still on the beach there?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Outside of going for Lauren's thing that day, My only East Boston travels were not the airport, that doesn't count. Was Little Fenway and the hockey rink.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I used to frequent East Boston quite a bit when I was with Compass.
That's awesome.
Obviously, our services were needed in that area.
Great place.
Yeah. That's what I tell the people like a lot now. Like when I talk to them, I'll be like, oh, I know that area, or saying like all this. And it's like, yeah, if I know an area really well and I say it's when I was working with Compass, like that's not a good thing. That's because our services were needed in that area. So, I mean, to be fair, like our services were needed fucking everywhere. Like I had clients in North Andover, like in the richest of rich fucking towns, like issues with children in DCF, no boundaries as far as, income and economic status for sure. But there is a higher concentration in certain areas, which is why, like, I know Worcester pretty well. I know some parts of Weymouth pretty well, like over by fucking River Street. Like I know that area really well. Like there's places that I know well. East Boston, probably not a good sign in most cases. But were you gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say it's like, yeah, and on that note, I had someone trying to defend Lynn on Twitter the other day.
Oh, of course.
Oh, Ward 1's actually pretty nice. Yeah, because it connects to Lynn Field. Cool, man. The rest of fucking Lynn, like the actual part of Lynn, shithole.
Yeah. If I lived in that part of Lynn, I wouldn't tell people I lived in Lynn. I'd be like, oh, I live in Linfield.
Yeah. I live in Lynn, but Ward 1. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have wards. Like,
yeah.
You
cool,
say
man.
Ward, I think fucking like hurricane ravaged fucking New Orleans. I don't know. They might have wards.
Yeah, they do actually.
Yeah.
Or that makes me think of like Hunger Games. Like District 12. Like, oh, I'm in Ward 1. Oh, you're in District 1, huh? Where do you guys what are you known for?
Yeah. We are the crackheads.
Yeah. So in other, like I said, regular people news, the House of Congress, I can't think of the name.
House of Representatives.
The House of Representatives. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. The House of Representatives passed legislation that would legalize marijuana. However, before everyone does their happy dance, right? Because this actually happened a few days ago. And everyone was flipping out, being like, oh, here we go. Finally, let's go. Yeah, weed's going to be legal. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, folks, but this isn't the first time that the House has passed a bill that legalizes marijuana. And also, according to Politico, with this article that I'm looking at, I'll read you the title or the headline. House passes marijuana legalization, in parentheses, again, but with no clear path forward. So, the House passed a far-reaching marijuana legalization bill on Friday, so this was last week, by a 220 to 204 vote, largely along party lines, and with no real path to President Joe Biden's desk. It marks the second time in less than 2 years that the House passed legislation to decriminalize cannabis, scrap some old marijuana-related convictions, and also allow states to make their own decisions about whether or not to establish marijuana markets. So it says this bill has little chance of getting the necessary Republican support to pass the Senate. So this is, again, the second time in less than 2 years that the House has passed a bill that would not only decriminalize marijuana, but I'm assuming also let people out of jail for crimes related to marijuana, which is absolutely fucking absurd, in my opinion, that people are serving legitimate jail time because they were in possession of marijuana. Like, you can totally fuck off with that. Like that could lead us down a whole nother rabbit hole with the privatized prison systems and all that bullshit. But it's neither. It's I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. But it sounds like it's not going to pass. So for once, I will actually give Democrats credit, right? Because that's the show. We give credit where credit is due, and we rip where ripping is due. It's just most often ripping is done across the board. So I will give credit to the Democrats on this piece of legislation. Like I said, not only to decriminalize marijuana, to release offenders with marijuana related jail sentences. And then also the third part of that, like I said, which I think is the most important, is leave the rest up to the states, which is exactly what it should be, right? Like, the federal government making weed illegal is absolutely fucking asinine, in my opinion. Legalize it, whatever, tax it, regulate it, do whatever you want to do, but at least leave it up to the states, right? So if you have a state like fucking Alabama that doesn't want to legalize weed, okay, fine. Don't make it legal then. Like, that's totally fine. But like, there's no, like, the federal government doesn't need to come into play in this.
I've seen some of the clips and I didn't really know why, but the Republicans are doing their like gateway drug stuff.
Of course they are, because they're cunts. Here we go. We just said this, last week in one of the episodes, where the Republicans, all they have to do is just not fuck it up, and they're going to fuck it up. This is what they're doing. It's gateway drug. Jesus fucking Christ. What is this, 1997?
Well, that's what I'm saying is, like, fuck off. Like, again, the gateway drug stuff. It's like, and people actually get behind this shit. I'm like, you people are fucking idiots.
If anything is a gateway drug, it's alcohol.
Just legalize the fucking thing. And yeah, if you in any of these like super conservative states, if they don't want it that badly, then don't legalize it.
Right.
Be the Massachusetts of sports betting. Like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
And again, it's like what's as is, it doesn't make any fucking sense right now that it's federally illegal but state legal in Massachusetts. So it's like, according to the federal government, it's illegal, but they don't supersede the state government. So it's like, what then who gives a fuck?
Right.
Just fucking legalize it and put it up to the states the way it is right now.
Right.
It's just not federally punishable by whatever.
Right. Right.
And if the states want to do that, the states can do that. Figure it out.
And it would
enough
actually,
of the federal shit.
It would actually help businesses too, because I can't really pretend like I know too much about this, but I know a little bit about it. Is because it's still federally illegal, any marijuana business is not allowed to have a bank account, because banks are not able to hold and fund money for something that the federal government deems illegal against the law, right? Because that would be committing a federal crime. So all of these people that own marijuana dispensaries, for a while now, a lot of them take like cards and stuff, but for a while it was a cash only business, and that cash had to be kept like outside of a bank, or there may have been like one bank that like had some deal or something, but like for the most part, like you weren't able to do it. So it caused a lot of safety concerns. And I know at the beginning in Massachusetts, that was a big one, because you just get all this fucking cash. So it would just make running their business exponentially easier, right? Because you wouldn't have to deal with like bullshit red tape from the federal government. So I don't know. I'm all for supporting businesses, hashtag shop local. But I just feel like the fact that weed is still federally illegal is just dumb.
Yeah,
It's just dumb.
I just again, like the Republicans going on like, oh, it's a gateway drug. Oh, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like enough of this shit. Like, really?
Yeah.
Just fucking whatever.
So they're
So
fucking assholes.
So annoying. Especially if you just let the Republican ideology should mean that they should be in favor of the states getting the choice, right?
You would think.
From like a philosophical standpoint.
Yeah, you would think, right? Smaller federal government, more states' rights.
So what the fuck? Like, how are the Democrats like doing this correctly? It doesn't even fucking fit the way they go. Like, yeah, obviously having legalized marijuana would fit like a liberal point of view, but letting the states decide, that's not a liberal point of view. That's a conservative point of view. So they're fucking doing it right. They're outdoing you at what you're supposed to do. And then, like, well, if the government wants to have it, sure, but Mississippi will never have it. It's like, okay, Mississippi.
Yeah. All right, cool. Have fun. So apparently Chuck Schumer in the Senate is trying to write up and propose his own cannabis bill. But according to this same article from Politico, he does not have the Democratic support to pass it, let alone the Republican support. So apparently the Senate is just where things go to die in all parts of politics, because that's where Massachusetts sports betting goes to die too, in the Massachusetts State Senate. So I say we abolish the Senate.
Wait, didn't the federal Senate pass the daylight savings proposal though? I think they did.
Did they?
Yeah.
It's interesting to me.
I think it was the Senate.
And I would need someone that's way smarter than me to explain this. But it's interesting to me that I feel like most things get done and passed in the House of Representatives, which has like 430 members of Congress or something like that. I'm sorry, 430 people in the House, but the Senate has 100.
Well, yeah, because
it's harder to get things done with the smaller group of people.
Well, because if you think about it, if you say you need a 2/3 majority to get something done,
you just need 51%.
Okay. So then if 49 people don't want something in the Senate, or I'm sorry, if 51 people don't want something in the Senate, it gets crushed. If 51 people don't want something in the House of Representatives, haha, that was cute.
Yeah.
Because there's 400 people. Is it 400 people that would be in favor? I don't even know how many fucking representatives there are.
I think there's like 400.
Okay, so then like 350.
Yeah.
Would say yes, and 50 would say no.
Right.
50 of which crushes something in the Senate, but gets laughed at in the fucking. Yeah, it's an eighth. What is that? 12%?
Yeah.
14%? I don't know. I don't do math.
Yeah, I know. That's too much math. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Just dumb. Everyone's dumb. You know what's not dumb though, is Florida finally doing something decent. Well, I shouldn't say finally. They handled COVID pretty well. They do some things well in Florida, like legislatively. I think Florida is pretty good. Like I actually like DeSantis. I think he's a pretty intelligent guy, and a pretty solid politician. It's just the whole Florida man shtick
so
gives them a bad
though,
rap.
There's really not that much wrong with Florida. It's just a bit of a trash can.
Yeah, it's just the Florida man stories, right? And the alligators. I'm all set with the alligators, but you know.
Yeah, but there's gators all along the East Coast. I think the big thing is the trash. It's a trashy place.
Yes. So
a lot of places are trashy.
Florida is passed a bill that requires high school students that take a financial literacy class in order to graduate high school. So it is now mandatory in the state of Florida that students must take and pass a personal finance class in order to graduate high school. To which I say, how in the fuck is this not a widespread thing, right? Like, how is it that Florida, the aforementioned trash heap, the only state that requires this?
Because Florida doesn't get it. If you never know how to make a ceramic pot or play the viola or take ballet in the 7th grade, then like, how are you going to know those things?
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Riddle me that.
I think Florida has actually done a lot of really great things recently. Did you hear the whole uproar thing about what people are calling the "Don't Say Gay" bill?
No.
So
I don't think so.
This is blatant propaganda, right? So Florida passed a bill that the actual like writing, how the bill reads, is that you are not allowed to talk about any sort of sexual education with children that are, I think it's 3rd grade and below. So from preschool to 3rd grade, you're not allowed to have sexual education for these kids.
Okay.
To which I say, I'm fine with that, right? Like, I
am too.
don't need my 7-year-olds learning about sex in school.
They won't fucking pick up on it anyway because they're morons. So.
Right. So what this has been turned into by opponents is they have dubbed this the quote, "Don't Say Gay" bill. And the way this has been spun in the media,
how did we get from A to B?
The way this has been spun in the media is that it's an attack on the LGBTQAIP plus XYZ community because it prevents the children from learning about the LGBTQ community. So therefore, it's not inclusive. To which I say, the way the bill reads is you're not allowed to talk about any sexual education under the 3rd grade, which means not only are you not just allowed to not talk about LGBTQ relationships, you're also not allowed to talk about straight relationships, cisgendered, white, male, female. You're not allowed to do it. It's across the board. You're not allowed to do it. But if you watch enough news, you would think Florida is like trying to go back to fucking, 1972, where everyone's afraid of AIDS and catching the gay. Where if you actually read what the fucking bill says, it says across the board from preschool to 3rd grade, keep your fucking mouth shut about any sort of like sexual related things, because children that are literally 6 and 7 and 8 years old don't need to know about it.
You know what kind of skills are very underrated for people of that age group? And not all of them possess that. One would my power rankings would start with walking in a straight line. Kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So that's like where I would put like priority number 1 is making sure that we can walk in a straight line.
Yes.
Number 2 would be getting their fingers out of their nose and mouth. That's number 2.
Yep.
Because those kids are fucking all up in their shit.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
But yeah. You're right. So opponents of this bill, and I haven't read this bill, so I'm only going off of what you've told me. Opponents of this bill, yeah, you're right. Those kids are going to be able to make an informed decision about their own sexuality when, again, they can't play without just falling. They just fall.
Right.
Like randomly, just fall.
Yeah. Yeah. They literally trip over nothing and fall.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, your 5-year-old can
Like, they still
barely fucking
cry.
walk.
They still cry.
Yeah,
Like,
over dumb shit.
for nothing.
Yeah, yeah. They cry because like they didn't get their way.
But yeah,
But
you know what? Yeah, you're going to be able to engage in high level sexuality talks with them.
with a 7-year-old.
With them, they can't even write on paper. Barely.
Yeah. 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 They don't even write. They still have to use those fat pencils.
Yeah.
Like I was
Third
still
grade,
using
it's
the
not till third grade where you get regular line paper. They used to call it third grade paper. I remember it.
yeah, yeah.
So when we don't want kids writing letters the size of my fucking head,
Yep.
and we shrink it down. So they're gonna go from writing in smaller areas to high level sexuality talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sure they'll pick up on that. No problem.
Yep. Yep. So obviously this has been all over Twitter, and there's been some actually hilarious shit that's been going on. So like there have been like teachers, right, that are saying that they're going to quit and resign. Like there was this one guy in particular, one gay man who posted something on Twitter that was like, I'm not allowed to talk about, my husband or whatever in school to my kids anymore. I'm going to quit my job because this is ridiculous. Fuck Florida. Like he went on this big long thing. And like some of the people that in the comments actually have some coherent arguments. The other ones are I just read just for fun, for purely entertainment purposes. But like some of them were like, I'm pretty sure no one said you couldn't mention that you have a husband.
I'm pretty sure that's definitely not outlined in what your synopsis.
Like I'm pretty sure no one is suppressing you to not be able to say that like you and your husband went hiking this weekend.
Nope, that doesn't sound like sexual education. That
what
sounds
you can't
like
say
life.
is my husband pounded me in the ass this weekend. Like you can't say that. You can't share the intimacies of your relationship with a man or a woman with your students because they don't need to hear it. So,
and even if they do, they're not going to get it.
Yeah. And then a bunch of people were like, good, fuck you. You shouldn't be a teacher anyway. And then some people are like, what are you telling your students that like you feel the need that like you need to quit your job now? Like, what the fuck? Like it's pretty funny. Like just like I said, reading through the comments, some of them are coherent, some of them are like, what the fuck? And then some of them are purely entertainment purposes.
Yeah. So I saw, did New York put a billboard up?
Probably.
Yeah, they put a billboard up. Basically, I don't know what catchy phrase they used. It was probably something, to grab attention, whatever, some marketing person. But more or less, it was like, if you want to say gay, come to New York.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone else in Florida is like, yeah, if you got a problem, New York's looking for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Go live there. It's awesome.
Yeah.
They have seasons. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, they have seasons. Go check it out.
Car, don't need it.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just, like I said, it blows my mind that that people look at that and they spun it. They literally, it's propaganda. Like that is quite literally the definition of propaganda. Because if you read the bill, it says clear as day, like no sex ed or sexual talk or anything for kids younger than third grade. And then the media goes, oh, that's targeting gay people. And then it gets dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill. No, it's the Don't Say Sex bill. If anything, like if you wanted to dub it something, it's the Don't Talk About Sex bill with my children.
You don't need to teach them how to put the condom on the banana in the third grade.
No. That can wait till high school.
Yeah, and even then, good fucking luck.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And see, you can take this banana and you can shove it up a vagina or an asshole. Yeah. Don't matter.
Yeah, you could do whatever the fuck you want with it, but like, don't tell my
banana right now.
Don't tell my second grader about it. If anything, I would let it slide in 8th grade, but probably not any younger than 8th grade.
Probably not.
Yeah. definitely. I mean, obviously, like we had sex ed in high school, but which I think most people do outside, like unless you go to a Catholic school, which God, you got bigger problems. But I would let it go in 8th grade. I think 8 to 12 is fine if you want to do that. Between 4th and 7th grade, like if it comes up, whatever. But there should be like no actual like course on it.
Yeah, they start to figure some shit out, but like they don't know how to organize their thoughts. So it's like
right.
That's
like,
that's hard.
Yeah, I mean, like I taught 6th grade for 2 months this year. They think they know what's going on. They don't. They don't.
What do you mean? They're all middle school kids are the smartest kids in the world. They know everything.
They say the words that like an adult would say, but they don't necessarily know what that means, right? Like it's funny because they say shit or like something they hear in like a song, whether it probably not on the radio, but a song like that they hear online or something. They'll repeat something and they'll know that it's something like fucked up or something sexual, but they don't actually know what it is. Like, what was it? What did one of the kids say? I forget exactly what it was, but I heard someone, it might've been like bukkake. You know what I mean? Like they use the word bukkake, but like it was so misappropriately used that I was like, you don't know what that word means. It's a quote bad word, right? Like, but you don't know what it means.
Imagine trying to explain that to someone.
Yeah. And like, I just pulled that out of my ass. Like, I don't think the word was bukkake, but
it doesn't matter.
There was a word
like that would
like that I heard one of the 6th graders say, but like in the context of how they used it, I was like, you don't know what that is. You think you know what that is, but you don't know what that is.
I'm like just picturing now, like one of the kids asked me, like, what's bukkake? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you got to find out from somewhere else.
Yeah.
You want to talk gambling? I'll teach you how to gamble, but like, fuck, I am not touching that one.
Yeah.
Well, you see, sometimes it starts with a gangbang.
It starts with anywhere between 8 to 12 men.
And it ends in the same way. Always ends in the same way.
Same thing every single time.
Yeah, it can start different, and
it can look different.
The beginning and the middle can be different. That can be some variation, but the end is always the same.
The end is always the same. Yeah, so don't talk to my fucking 4th grader about sex either. Yeah, but fuck Florida, right? I haven't
been to Florida in an embarrassingly long time. I haven't been to Florida in 20 years.
I don't remember.
And I've been twice in my life. World traveler I am.
Yeah. I think the last time I went was 2015 for
the guys just took a golf trip to Orlando.
Nationals. I coached Derek and I coached Lindsay at Nationals in 2015, 2016, something like that. Because 2015 was also Worlds in Houston. But then we also coached her at Nationals in Chicago. Maybe that was the following year. I don't know. But one of the years we went to some sort of national competition in Orlando. Because I remember it was the first week in December and we were sitting by the pool and it was 80 degrees and we got snow back here. And I remember being like, that sucks.
It's hilarious. Good times. But you know what, though? No seasons.
Yeah, no seasons down there.
It would be so terrible to live there.
Yeah. So this next one is hilarious. I'm actually really excited for this one and to get your take on it. So I actually have pulled up 3 different articles because I want to read them all, or at least skim them all. And just to check and make sure, because I heard this on the Drinking Bros fake news podcast that they do, which the whole shtick there is like they talk about news that's so fucked up it sounds fake, but it's actually real. And then most of the time now, especially nowadays in like COVID times, they just do like real news. They just call it fake news because they're like us talking about news. We inject
Real
our
fake
own
doors.
dumb opinions and say stupid shit like bukkake in the middle of talking about like something that's going on in the world. But so here's the headline. Here's the outline for you. A Washington school, well, so the state of Washington, the school district approves race-based student discipline. So
Okay.
I'm going to read all three headlines from the three different articles here. The next one, Washington school district uses race-based discipline with whites getting harshest punishment. The third one, Washington schools to adopt race-based discipline, white students to get harsher punishment. So the Clover Park School District in Washington State approved a new disciplinary policy last month that encourages school administrators to take race into consideration when deciding on student discipline. The policy tells school personnel to establish disciplinary policies that adapt to individualized needs in a, quote, culturally responsive manner. So, yeah.
I don't think anyone asked for this.
The Clover Park School District in Washington State can get fucked. They're also retarded, right? Like this is, I think in the literal sense of the word, like to retard, like the verb to retard means to like hold something back or to hinder. Like, I think this is quite literally in the actual definition of the word, retarded. Like, I think this is legitimately retarded.
Archaically retarded.
Yes. Like in the Webster dictionary version of the word that got skewed throughout the last however many decades. Like this is actually retarded because they're basing their punishment on the race of the student. So if a student of color does something in the class that requires discipline, they're supposed to get a lighter sentence than if a white student does the exact same thing. How, please explain to me how that's not racist. One, to start, right? Like that's racist. Like we said that a couple episodes ago, and we've said it multiple times. Like there's no such thing as reverse racism. It's just racism. Like if a white student and a black student do the exact same thing, say they whip a desk across the classroom. If the black student just gets like, I don't know, detention, but the white student gets suspended for 3 days, and like that's part of written school policy too. Like that's not just like on a whim, like the teacher just decides to do something and give different punishments for the same thing. It's written school policy. That's racist, right? Like that is also textbook racism.
No, yeah, you're doing the racist thing. I'm still looking up the retard thing. So,
yeah.
So retard, as you said, as a verb, is delay or hold back in terms of progress, development, or accomplishment. So it unfortunately it isn't retarded because that's an adjective. Because if you were to use retarded in what is considered the to retard way, it would be like our progress was retarded by unforeseen difficulties. So like that's the past of to retard. Whereas, what did I type in? Retarded definition. This is according to Oxford, because it does say offensive and dated. So retarded less advanced in mental, physical, social development than is usual for one's age, very foolish or stupid. Though that's definition. Now they both have like the little offensive thing.
Well,
but
I'm retarded.
But
in that sense.
Retard is not offensive. It's just a word.
Right.
There's a Latin origin for it.
Yeah, it means to stop or prevent.
In tardus. Tardus means slow.
Yeah.
Retardare or retardare is Latin. And that's how it became retard.
Well, if you think about like something that's fire retardant, like it has the word retard in it. Like retard means like to slow or stop, prevent, like that's where the word comes from.
Yeah, as a verb. The verb.
Yeah.
So the noun and the adjective are they're labeled as offensive.
So the Clover Park school district here in Washington passed this thing, right? That says they're supposed to take into account the student's race when it comes to discipline.
Yeah, no. So, dude, I got you. Like, I'm trying not to get too like into like it's racist, like, because dude, like we all know it's fucking dumb. Like it's a dumb move. It's a dumb thing. Whenever people of color or black population, whoever, whenever they clamor for what they want and what they want to see, it's always equality. It's always to be treated equally. It's like now the school district's like, oh yes, equal rights, whatever. We'll just come down harder on white people. It's like, is that what we fucking asked for? It's not what we fucking asked for. Unless you're bringing the white people down to the black level. Like, but otherwise, that's not what they're fucking looking for.
Right. So also, as I just been skimming through this, the district, the Clover Park School District, is actually a majority minority. So in the Clover Park School District, 28% of the school body is white. So 72% of the school is non-white. So now, because of this new culturally responsive legislation that was passed in this school district, white students end up getting harsher disciplines for similar offenses, and only 28% of the student body is actually white.
Yeah, it's missing the boat. Missing the boat.
Yeah. Yep. That's not good. Also, if you're going to come at me and be like the culturally responsive, or culturally, it says culturally responsive discipline. I would think the word should have been responsible, but whatever. I don't know words because I'm retarded. But doesn't that in a way, now feel free to tell me I'm taking too many steps here, but doesn't that in a way kind of show that they being like the school board feel like non-white kids almost like can't help themselves, right? So if you have to take race into account, right, and they're like, well, you have to think about race, right? So if a black student throws a desk across the room, like you have to realize like, well, it's a black student, like what is the next logical step for them? Like, would it be something like, well, they can't help themselves, so they have to have lesser punishment? Like, is that what you're trying to say?
Dude, you're gonna need someone smarter than me for this one.
Because
I was just taking it for the surface of like,
because that's also inherently racist.
Yeah, this is comical. Like, let's not even pretend like this is a legitimate thing. This is fucking This is idiotic.
This is absolutely asinine.
It's dumb. It's just dumb, and it's too cute. It's too much. You should have done nothing.
So I'm
like,
also looking
if
at
28% of if this only pertains to 28%, like why bother?
Yeah.
Why?
So I'm also looking at the school board, like a picture of the school board. There's 7 people. So the vote went through 3-2. So there's 5 people on the school board. However, this picture is a picture of 7 people sitting at a desk. So regardless of which ones are actually on the school board and who's the fucking secretary or whatever the fuck else is going on over there.
It's called an admin.
Yeah. As of the 7 people that are sitting at this desk in a school district that is only 28% white,
they're all white, aren't they?
How many people at this desk do you think are white out of 7?
7.
Yes, actually, all 7.
Yep.
7 out of 7 people. 7 out of 7 people sitting up here, and 3 of them are wearing a mask.
Only 3?
Yeah.
Sickening.
Yeah. And they voted to pass this legislation.
There you go.
In the school district.
White people again.
That
white people just don't get it, dude. They just don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get anything.
Oh, so this is great too. So part of their argument was that Hispanic and Black students receive the most discipline. 72%
or quality.
It doesn't say. It just says the Hispanic and Black students receive the most discipline. Well, yeah. If your district is 72%, so these people are retarded.
They don't get it. They don't get it at all.
That's wild.
But crazy. that's sort of like the line of thinking that we're moving towards.
Yeah.
People missing the point or missing the main theme.
Yeah. That's bad. That's like, really bad.
Just put structure in that takes race completely out of it.
Right.
That way you're not treating people of color worse than white people, and you're not favoring anybody.
Right. It's like, hey, if you throw a desk,
yeah,
you're suspended for 2 days.
If you throw a punch, you're suspended for a minimum 2 days.
Right. If you write a swear on school property, whether it's a bathroom stall, a desk, or whatever, it's automatic 2 days detention. You know what I mean? Like, just make it uniform across the board.
No, dude, we got to take race into it.
Yeah, no, we have to take race into account. Yikes. Fucking
Washington, huh?
Yeah, it's a great state. If you can't say gay, go to Washington.
Yeah.
Get the fuck. We should just. Dude, just annex fucking the state of Washington.
West Coast.
The whole West Coast.
The West Coast. Washington,
the entire
Oregon, California.
Yeah. See ya. See you later. Don't need it.
Bugs Bunny just with the saw, cut it all off.
Well, actually,
no use for any of those places.
Was it Washington or Oregon? I think it was Washington, southeastern Washington. There was like 7 counties, like
it was 6. Oregon.
Oh, it was Oregon that was petitioning to join Idaho.
Leave Oregon.
They wanted to leave Oregon and become Idaho.
And Idaho is probably sitting there like, no, fuck off.
Yeah, Idaho's like, no, fuck you. We don't want you.
We are quite literally the best kept secret in this country. Yeah. Fuck off.
Literally, it is.
Don't fucking drag us into this.
So, one more thing before we wrap things up here, is that, remember, so we've talked about this a million times, right? So remember back in January when everyone was putting pressure on President Biden to extend the student loan moratorium, right? Because President Trump originally put it in place, and then I think he extended it once, and then I think Biden extended it once, and then everyone was flipping out because it was supposed to start again either in January or February. I don't remember which month it was supposed to start back up in, but everyone absolutely lost their fucking shit, and they pressured Biden into extending it. So he said, no, 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 I'm not doing it. But then finally, he ended up doing it. So he extended it until May 1st, right? And said, this is the last time. That was part of the whole deal, was this is the last time I am extending the student loan moratorium. This is it. So come May, you fucks are going to have to pay again. Well, I think it was May. So here we are. It's April 5th today. What do you think's been going on for the last week?
I don't even know what's been going on the last week. I did see this shit got extended out again.
People were flipping out. They're like, dude, you need to extend it. You need to extend it. And he's like, no, I told you in January, that was the last one. People lost their fucking shit over this again. So after he said no in January and then eventually said yes, and not only did he say yes, he goes, this is the last one. He just extended it today again, after being pressured again over the last week. So now, as of April 5th, President Biden has extended the student loan pause through August 31st. So now you don't have to pay, or you don't have to pay until September, and the student loans debt is still at a 0% interest. You're not accruing interest or anything like that through August 31st.
Ooh, that's a pretty good one because people aren't paying attention in August.
Yeah. So my thing is, what's the fucking point? Right? Like, you need to put your fucking foot down, because you told us in January that this was the last extension. It had already been extended like 3 or 4 times. He goes, this is the last extension. Come May, you're going to have to pay your loans back. And now people just bitch and moan and complain, and you just extend it again. So what do you think is going to happen in August? People are going to bitch and moan and complain again, and you're just going to fucking extend it again. So why not just fucking relieve a bunch of it at this point, right? Like, what's the point? What is the point? Because what he's doing is just living in the middle, right? He's just allowing people to not pay their loans back without any penalty, but then also he's not forgiving anything either. So, which is what he ran on, right? So the thing that people have the biggest problem with is he ran for president on the promise that he was going to forgive a portion of student loan debt for every American that held it.
Yeah, that's on every person that believes that. That's on you for fucking listening to a politician, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, if that's why you voted for him, fuck
dumb
you.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dumb fuck. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot.
You're an absolute moron. But like I said, like, what are we doing? What's the point? Now, I'm not going to sit here and complain because like I said, I've been paying my student loans the entire time.
Down. It's not accruing interest right now, right?
No, it's not. It's not. So I've been knocking that shit down. I've paid off a lot of my fucking student loan debt in the last 2 years. So if he wants to keep extending the 0%,
keep it going.
But like, from an actual like political standpoint, like, you're not actually doing a good thing, right? From an economical health standpoint, right? For the economy, like, I don't think,
and for the individuals,
right? Like, I don't think
people haven't been paying for 2 years,
right?
People haven't been paying for 2 years, and now they're adjusted to whatever their new lifestyle is, and it's like, oh, I have to start paying $400 a month again. It's like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who honestly, it's probably a good call. Like anyone who's intelligent and still has student loans, it's like, no, 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 you have to extend that thing out. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
why? It's unfair. Thinking in your head, like, nah, because non-accruing interest for 2 years saves me a fuckload of money.
yes, exactly.
And paying down either accrued interest before the period or just hitting the principal. Oh my God, that's fucking saving people so much fucking money if you've been paying.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, like I've paid a lot. I've
And I
paid
was
a
say
lot off.
I'm not good enough at math to like even
Oh,
do like
find out how much I've spent, I've saved. Yeah,
like how much interest that you didn't accrue over
yeah,
that time,
yeah,
despite how much you've paid, like, and just kind of like figuring out, all right, well, if I, again, this is like serious fucking math. Um, and you'd have to do it almost probably like month by month. Like, find out when they stopped accruing interest, how much you've paid it down, and what would it have been had it been accruing interest the whole time and you just paid like your minimum, whatever, or the same amount, same amount, the same amount,
right, right.
and figure out what your balance is, today, or I guess projected balance September 1st
Yep.
versus what would it be the other way.
Yeah.
It's got to be a few thousand.
Oh, easily, easily. Like
And
I've paid down my loans substantially in the last 2 years.
yeah, and I mean, again, I don't know what an average student loan interest is, but even if it,
Between 3 and 7%, I would say.
all right, so let's use some easy math. 5%, and let's say you owe 100K.
Yep.
What's that a year? 5% of 100K. Is that 1,000?
That's 5,000.
5,000. 5%. No shit, huh? So 5,000 divided by 12, that's $600 a month.
Right. Just in interest.
Just in interest accruing.
So if you paid $600 a month on a 5% loan for an outstanding balance of $100,000 and you paid $600 a month at the end of the year, you owe $100,000 still.
Yep. Still.
That's fucking nuts.
How does anybody do this? Oh, because it gets because it's like 30 years or whatever, however many years.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fucking nuts. Why does anyone go to college?
It's really dumb, actually.
If you can't pay for it in cash, you shouldn't go.
Yes. But yeah, like that's fucking crazy. So I'm trying to see if I can find anything. I've knocked down probably like roughly. No, that doesn't seem right. Is it? I guess. Yeah, I've paid like almost $5,000 off my student loans in the last 2 years.
I mean, that's probably not that far off.
Yeah. Well, how many months? They started it in March of 2020. So it's been 25 months. No, it's been more than that. I've knocked down way more than that. It's like $7,000 I've paid in the last 25 months.
Yeah, and let's use a hypothetical. So let's say you owed 20K at 3%, you would owe 600 a year divided by 12. So just in interest, you'd owe $50 a month.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend like these are hypothetical numbers.
Right.
Multiply that by 25. Yeah, that you just saved yourself $1,200.
Right.
Just by continuing to pay in my hypothetical situation.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I have more than $20,000.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what you have, but
you know what I mean? So I've probably saved myself somewhere in the realm of $2,000 to $3,000.
Yep.
by
And there's
continuing to pay.
there's gonna be some people when they have to start paying again, they are not gonna know what fucking hit them.
Yeah. And I'm going to continue to pay through September, right? So
Yeah,
when
so
it's
you
all
get
said and
another
done, when it's all said and done, I might have saved myself between $3,000 and $4,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, then when the interest does come back, your interest is way lower because your balance is way lower.
Right. Because now I'm only paying principal. Like I paid off all my interest months ago. And I've just been attacking the principal finally.
Yep.
So like the way, because I did the math out on how much interest I accrue on each loan. I have a spreadsheet for it because I'm a fucking psycho. But my monthly payment now that all my interest is gone, my monthly payment is higher than any interest that I would accrue. So even my minimum payment that I make every month is going to attack the principal.
Yep. But you're not even going to get interest until September 1st at the earliest.
Correct. Yeah.
So you got 5 more months of knocking that down.
Right. So, that's a potential. Like if I pay, because I've been paying,
but
dude,
anywhere
between
no one should
$200
take
and $300 a month.
No one should take a financial literacy course.
Yeah. Yeah. Why would you want to go to school in Florida? Why would you want to go to school in Florida? They don't let you just say gay.
Yeah. God forbid they teach you how to fucking figure your finances out.
Yeah.
But yeah, but third graders won't know about fucking 3-man fucking London bridges.
So another 5 months. Yeah, that's another $1,250 that I'll knock off in the next 5 months. And that's assuming it doesn't get extended again.
Again, dude, money's going to be due at some point.
Right. No, absolutely. And like I said, I'm fine with that. Like I'm capable. I'm willing and ready to pay. I've actually never stopped paying. So like when the bill comes due, I'm just going to keep paying it.
Some people out there though, they're going to not know what the fuck hit them.
Yeah. I think we're in for a problem there in that situation. I've heard a lot of people talk about like another like bubble, like a financial bubble. And they think this next one is going to be with student loans. And now even more so because of what you just said. People have adjusted their cost of living over the last 2 years to not include their student loan payment. So now all of a sudden, say in September, it doesn't get extended again and their bill comes due. Well, say you were in a position like me, right? Where you didn't lose your job, you continued to get paid. So you got your yearly raise, right? So in 2 years, you'd be making roughly anywhere from like 4 to 6% more, right? Because if you get like your 2% raise in 2020 and your 2% raise in 2021, and then a 2% raise in 2022. So now you're looking at, it's actually more than 6%.
It's more than 6%.
It's more than 6% because of compounding numbers and all that bullshit.
Whatever.
But so you're looking at, let's call it 7%. Let's just round up. So you make 7% more in September of 2022 than you did in March of 2020. But you decided to not pay this entire time, but you adjusted your cost of living to what you make now. Like now you're fucked, right? Like theoretically you can afford it because you could afford it in March of 2020.
But not if you increase your expenses.
But now you've spent that money.
House or whatever.
Yes, exactly. So a lot of people are fucked. And I think that's how the next financial crisis is going to happen.
Yeah, people default and whatever.
Yeah. So
should be fun.
Yeah. You know what could be interesting? Well, I don't know how they would blame it on Congress, but if Biden kept extending it and then say he extends it in September again through November or December,
the election,
but then with the midterm election and all the Republicans win and then Biden lets the payments start again. And then we get another financial collapse in March of 2023. And how would they be able to spin that to blame it on the Republicans, right? It's like,
We'll see what happened. They won. Hey, I'll tell you right now. See what happened. They took the majority back, and then the economy collapsed.
Yeah.
And then the people that don't know any better are going to go, oh, they did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not how it works.
Because that's all it is. That's all it's all it's about, is just trying to spin shit to make the other side look bad and lie, literally just lie. So I don't know. There's your Nostradamus prediction.
Oh, at least that won't happen now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to start wrapping this up?
We can wrap this up.
All right.
I'm going to be short and sweet because I really got to piss. People, I may have done this before and I don't care. I'm doing it again. People have lost the ability to merge and yield. I see it a lot on the highway, off the highway. People don't understand how to merge and how to yield. Sometimes when you have to yield, because you see a yield sign, because you're joining them, whatever, sometimes you have to come to a stop because sometimes there's too much traffic. Yield doesn't mean just fucking go and someone else will figure it out. Yield means to give in to the other traffic pattern, which generally you don't want to stop, but it might mean a fucking stop.
Correct.
Or slowing down to a point where you can kind of cut somebody off.
Yes. Yield doesn't mean stop, but yield also doesn't mean just hit the fucking gas and
it doesn't mean just continue your traffic pattern and someone else will fucking
it means
figure it out.
Yield.
It means yield,
which, like you said, means give in to the other person.
Yeah.
Like typically if someone's in the rotary, the person in the rotary has the right of way and the person trying to enter needs to yield.
Yeah. Or if you are getting on the highway, yes, you need to get up to speed.
Right.
But if there's a car in your way, you have to wait for that car to pass you. And then you get over.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's some sketchy highways to get on. And yeah, you might have to go very slow because there's too many cars coming. It happens.
Right.
Same with merging. Like a zipper. Just merge like a fucking zipper.
Yep.
If there's two lanes merging to one car, next car, one car, next car, one car, next car, one car, next car. But no, someone
I can't let anybody in front of me.
Someone in a beat up Honda Civic.
Yep.
With blacked out fucking windows that you can see the edges of the tin.
Yeah.
Has to make sure that they stay one car ahead.
Yeah.
Fucking the zipper up.
Yep.
And to anyone that has a yielding lane to their right, you do potentially need to let these fucking people in if they're ahead of you.
Correct.
You can't just fire on the gas to try to cut them off. Right. You're going to fucking cause an issue.
Right.
And if you're in the right lane traveling near an on-ramp, you should be prepared for people coming on to the fucking highway. That's the point of the right lane.
Right.
If you don't like it, drive in the center. Right. You don't have to deal with merging if you drive in the center.
Exactly.
It's amazing that just day after day, no one knows how to fucking do it. No. And it's like people weren't great at it before, but they weren't this bad. And I don't know. Like, again, it just seems like everything's like now, demand this, demand that, give me this, give me that. Like people are such fucking cunts. It's unbelievable. And it's just like driving's miserable. The stores are miserable. People are just fucking cunts and it's awful.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
they can't fucking drive. They can't fucking act in public. Like it's insane.
People are the worst kind of people.
Sucks. And the merging yielding thing, they people cannot figure it out anymore. It's absurd.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I hate everybody. So with my final thought, also pretty short and sweet to the point. So I love Elon Musk, right? I've talked about this before. I think he's amazing. So he's had some beef with Twitter in the past, and he posted a poll on a Twitter poll on his Twitter that said, do you think, so, yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but it's like, do you think Twitter does a good job of, protecting free speech or something like that? And it's like, ... the implications of this poll will be drastic or something like that. And like 76% of people said, no, it doesn't do a good job of protecting free speech. Come to find out, like 2 days after Elon Musk puts that poll on Twitter, he buys 9% of Twitter. So on the stock market, he bought almost $3 billion worth of Twitter stock.
So he crushed it. He must have tanked the stock.
Oh no, it went through the fucking roof.
No, when he put that poll out.
Oh, it could have been.
Could have not tanked it, but it must have made it dip.
Yeah, it could have been. But then, so he buys 9% of Twitter stock, which means he is the largest shareholder of Twitter stock, which means he now has a seat on the board of directors at Twitter. So if you want to talk about big dick energy, right? And like all of this shit, like, oh yeah, don't talk about it, be about it, like all this shit. No.
He just did.
Elon Musk just did. He did not like the way Twitter was operating. He had clearly a problem with Twitter, claiming that they protect free speech, but really they don't. They kick people off the platform for the dumbest shit. So Elon Musk says, I'm worth hundreds of billions of dollars. I'll spend 3 billion of that, and I'll buy more stock than anybody else holds in Twitter. And I'm going to start changing some shit around with this company now that I own more stock than anybody else.
Credit to him.
So credit to Elon Musk. He is absolutely incredible. Sexy Chris and I talked about this briefly the other day, and he said Elon Musk is either going to save the world or blow it up in the process. And I go, either way, man.
Either one. It's either the world is saved or it's not my problem anymore.
100%.
Go nuts, man. Go ahead.
100%. So shout out to Elon Musk for just being that dude, like, and actually having the balls to go through and do and actually get something done, right? So again, that's why Elon is my fucking favorite. So get ready for some potential changes around Twitter. Who knows now that he's sitting on the board of directors.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So that is going to do it. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe, give us a thumbs up, rate, review, all that fun stuff on the audio version. Subscribe again wherever you are over there. If you're on Spotify, you can leave us 5 stars now, so please go do that. Thank you to mybookie.com. Go to mybookie.com, use our promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000 over there. Also, thank you to grillyourassoff.com. You can go over there, use the same promo code SarcasmPod when you check out to get 15% off your entire order every single time you check out over there at grillyourassoff.com. Great stuff. I love them. They're the best. I almost never cook anything without using their seasonings. So again, Sarcasm Pod over at grillyourassoff.com for 15% off. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Our Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. The website is sarcasmspeaks.com. Anything that says Sarcasm Speaks typically is ours. You can go to our merch store. You can buy some merch, all that fun shit. So until next time, happy Masters weekend, everybody.